special edition of On Scene with RCSO. It's our Back to School Safety Edition. We have Sergeant Scott Herring here with Richmond County Sheriff's Office Traffic Division. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're going to do a special edition for our zone report today because school has started in our area, Richmond County, Columbia County, Burke County, and probably where you are watching or listening. And what we want to do is make sure our kids are safe, traveling either in the school bus or riding their bikes or walking to school. So with you being our traffic guy, we want you to kind of talk to us about school buses. What is expected of drivers when we see a school bus slowing down? I know they have that slowing or whatever, and then the arm comes out directing drivers to stop. So can you kind of talk about that? What are the rules of the road here in Georgia?
Sure. I think one of the main factors is this time of year when you do see the buses out and they're obviously loaded with the students, is expect them to stop. I mean, that's their whole function is to get the children from the school, from the home, and vice versa. So expect there to be delays. Expect the buses to actually stop and unload the students. And if you pass a bus going the same direction with their lights on and the stop sign out, that's a violation of law. And there are certain circumstances where if you go in the opposite direction as well and the lights are engaged with the stop sign clearly displayed, if you go in the opposite direction, it can be a violation of law also. The whole, I think as a society, we can disagree on a lot of things, but when it comes to our children's safety, I think we're all for the most part, in agreement that it's paramount to keep our kids safe.
Absolutely. And I know that I live in between school zones, so I don't get to see the flashing lights to tell me to go whatever, 25 miles per hour, whatever. And sometimes I don't realize it until I see a school safety guard. So I'm like, oh, no, I'm speeding in, the school zone. Do you have any kind of recommendations for those who actually don't see it because they kind of live in the middle of that?
Well, my guess is if you do live in the middle of said school zone, you would be aware of this, and with you living there, you would be pretty much in tune to the time of day, morning or afternoon, that there's going to be bus activity. So just being mindful of that and understanding, and if you pull out and you're not sure, let's play it safe. Go slow. There's I don't know what the big hurry would be that we would want to ever jeopardize children getting on or off a school bus, but play it safe until then proceed to the speed limit.
Yeah, and one reason would be just I'm usually or sometimes late. And one of the things that I have to be mindful of is if I'm already running late, I'm going to be late anyway.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's one of the things that I try to be mindful of is I have to, especially when kids are playing, I have to think about it as if kids are playing with a ball or a dog or something in the front yard. And if a ball goes out, they're not going to think about traffic or anything like that. So I try to adjust my speed knowing in my mind of, if this kid darts out, am I at the speed where I can quickly stop?
Correct. And you're absolutely right. Children are expected to be children. Adults are expected to be adults, drivers, that sort of thing. And the way you're speaking now is what I would call defensive driving. You drive in a manner to anticipate a situation. And that's how we should all be driving our vehicles. Unfortunately, it seems, and I would commit, we have a pretty large community. And I want to certainly thank all the drivers who do think that way, who drive that way, who proactively drive in a manner in which to prevent anything from happening and to expect the unexpected. Unfortunately, there are some that don't drive that way, but that goes a long way in ensuring that if you are in a situation where a child does dart out in front of you, that you're not exceeding the speed limit to the point where you can't react and prevent a tragedy.
And on top of the defensive driving as well as speed limit, if you'll touch on with the hands-free driving as well, that way we can educate our drivers as well as being attentive when they're driving. So it's just not a speed factor,
Right.
but also being attentive.
Sure, and when we're behind the wheel, that should be our one and only focus. With cell phones, if the way the law is, if you hold that phone with any part of your body at any time while driving a vehicle, that's
Right.
a violation. It does not give you an out if you're at a red light and you've got about 15 seconds that you think you're going to be stopped or you feel like you're going to be stopped, to where you can check that all-important text message from Aunt Linda about dinner time, that night. That can wait. Mm-hmm. And, you could hands-free. All the vehicles have Bluetooth now. You can speak on your phone, but you can't support your phone in your hand or any part of your body.
Okay. And pedestrians and crosswalks. Again, like I said, I know kids are walking to school, and we do have school crossing guards. And just for the people who are wondering if you want to help out or if you need to help out, Richmond County is hiring for a school crossing guard. So we'll talk about that kind of at the end of the show, how you can apply for that. But can you give us the rules of crosswalks or pedestrians walking, on the
Right.
on the roadways? Because I remember just walking, I'm like, I'm a pedestrian. They got to stop for me. Pedestrians are always right. When I got here, I learned that is not true. I can't just walk in the middle of the road.
Well, and that's correct. And let's say you were correct. All right, let's say pedestrians did have the right of way. By the time that bus runs you over, does it matter if you're right? No, it doesn't. But yeah, crossing a roadway has to be done in a crosswalk. Remember, it's a roadway. First and foremost, it's for vehicular traffic.
Right.
So if you introduce yourself into darting out in the roadway, that's taking taking chances.
Right.
So, but crossing properly in a crosswalk where you have the signal to cross, is what you should do as a pedestrian. And I would also, and I've noticed a lot of this, is people going across a major intersection in a crosswalk, mm-hmm. but they have their face in their phone.
Right.
And to me, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, you're in the crosswalk and you're correct legally, but if you're not paying attention, mm-hmm. and if you're looking up and you could see that vehicle run that red light, you yourself can avoid becoming a victim. Mm-hmm. But if your attention is elsewhere, checking your Facebook account in your phone as you're crossing a major intersection during rush hour, it's not very smart,
right.
in my humble opinion.
And that's
I see a lot of that.
And that's about just being distracted, not paying attention
Absolutely.
to where you are, and things like that. So it's not just for drivers. I know it's illegal for drivers,
Right.
but we all have to be mindful
It's
of where we
situational
are.
awareness at its best.
Right. And as we wrap up, one of the other things that I want to talk to you about is we get a lot of questions from the community in regards to on 3 to 5 lane highways as to when school buses are approaching or if they have their signal out. Can you touch on that and let us know exactly what when we have to yield to them, when we need to stop?
Okay. Certainly a 2-lane road, east, west, north, south. Once the lights are activated, you see the bus coming to a stop sign comes out. Both directions has to stop. When you don't have to stop as far as opposite direction is when there's a physical barrier, a grass median, a barrier wall, raised concrete. You don't have to stop as far as opposite. If you're behind the bus going the same direction, you absolutely do.
Right.
So those are the differences in when you have to stop and when you don't have to stop when traveling in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you coming on for this special edition for season 2 with On Scene with RCSO. Thank you very much.
Well,
And do you
thank
have
for having
any
me.
parting suggestions or anything like that?
Well, I guess so. Again, I think for the most part, we do well as a community. paying attention to driving and preventing accidents before they happen. There's also the segment of drivers that travel with the posture of HUA, and I'll let you decide what that means. That just needs to remove that position and drive like they're supposed to drive. That's priority one. A lot of the accidents we have are avoidable. So just take your time. Like you said earlier, when sometimes you're running late, try to get up a little bit earlier so that you don't have to rush. And you can focus on your main task as a driver, and that is getting yourself there safely and keeping the community safe as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Welcome back. We're here with Explorer Corporal McGhee and Corporal Hawk with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Thanks for coming.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello, hello.
All right. Well, we are again with our special edition of On Scene with RCSO, and we wanted to talk to someone that is in high school and has worked with Corporal Hawk and some more people within the Sheriff's Office with the Richmond County Explorers Post 121 program. So if you can tell us, Explorer Corporal McGhee, your experience with the Explorer program and kind of how you got into that and how that's going.
So the Explorers program is basically from kids ages 14 to 21, and it's for people who want to have an experience and hands-on experience with actual law enforcement and get training there. It doesn't only focus on law enforcement, it focuses on leadership skills and things like that. How I got into it is my friend, he's the Explorers lieutenant there, and he basically got me in it with when I said I wanted to be in law enforcement.
Okay. And Corporal Hawk, you are, I know, like the supervisor over this Explorers program?
Yeah, so with our Explorers program, it's actually a joint effort between 3 different agencies here in Richmond County: the Augusta University Police Department, the Board of Education Police Department, and of course Richmond County Sheriff's Office. And each agency has an advisor for the program, and I am the Richmond County's advisor.
Okay. And about how many participants do we have in the program?
So we currently have about 5 participants. We are working on our recruitment efforts this year, especially with school starting back. We're going to be in the high schools and potentially the middle schools trying to increase our numbers. That way we can be a bigger help to the community with the stuff that we do.
Okay, and if someone's interested in getting involved in this program, how can they reach out to you or reach out to somebody, a liaison?
Me specifically, they can contact the Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1000 and just ask for the Community Services Division for Corporal Hawk, and they'll point you in the right direction to me, and I can give you some information. But if you contact Board of Education Police Department or Augusta University, they both have people there that they can put you in contact with to get you the information.
Okay. And can you tell us some of the things that you've done within the Explorers program? How long have you been in it?
I've been in it for about a year, about February of 2022.
Okay. And what are some of the things that you've been able to do?
I've done a lot of things as far as getting connections and things like that, getting my foot in the door, basically. And basically we go over like real life stuff that we've seen, and we'll try to make that scenario and see how we would have done it or how we could have done it better. And it basically was a big help into seeing what actual law enforcement is and how to actually do it correctly.
Okay. And I've seen you at some volunteer events too with the
Right.
Sheriff's Office. Tell me how those events go and what you kind of do with those events.
So with the community services events, we come and out and help, basically. We'll try to do some recruiting there as well. But basically we'll just help everywhere we can.
And Explorer Corporal McGhee, what are your future plans? Are you looking for a career in law enforcement?
Yeah, I'm looking for a career in law enforcement. I plan to put myself through academy and then see what agency takes me.
Okay.
And you're a senior this year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you looking to go straight into the academy from graduation, or are you going to take a kind of a break or something?
I do think I want to just go straight into the academy after I graduate high school.
Okay. Are you looking to work here with us? at
Yeah.
the sheriff's office?
Yeah, that is one of my plans. Yeah,
That is a hope.
Awesome.
that
Yes.
is a hope.
We would love to have you. And you're still in that program. How I know you're an Explorer Corporal.
Mhm.
How high is the ranking structure, if you know, or Corporal Hawk? Can you tell us that?
So our highest rank structure is actually going to be a captain's position. And like I said, we're kind of revamping the program, so we are working on overall structure, but captain will be the highest rank.
Okay. And do you know kind of how they get to that point, or do they have points or something like that to
So
get ranked?
once they come in, they'll be on probationary period as a recruit, and then they'll move up based off of knowledge. Because the way we do our program is it's going to be structured just like our police academy.
Okay.
So the lessons that I learned in the police academy are going to be similar to the lessons that they're going to be learning. So there will be tests and there will be practical exams and stuff that they'll have to take. And each time they pass a certain point, it makes them eligible for these positions. So we're hoping for about 20 recruits. So that'll include corporals, multiple sergeants, a few lieutenants, and then a captain position.
Okay. Do you have to live in Richmond County to be a part of this program?
No, you do not have to live in Richmond County to be a part of this program. We're welcoming anybody that wants to be a part of it. And we do currently meet at A.R. Johnson High School or A.R. Johnson Magnet School. And we meet there every Wednesday or 3 Wednesdays out of the month. And then the last Wednesday, we just kind of take a break and then come back at it.
Is there actually any type of bridge program that, being that if he's interested in coming to work for the sheriff's office, do we bridge any, like navigate them through the process into getting hired? Or if he decides that he wants to pursue this going to mandate, do we navigate them through that process as well?
So for sure, because as he was saying, he gets to make a lot of connections
Right.
With the sheriff's office. So not only does he get to meet me, but he gets meets our people that work here, just like you two, and also meet anyone else here, which includes our recruiting people, Mark Chastain, who's been on the show, Deputy Kevin Chilada, our recruiters. So he gets to meet all these people. So when it does come time for him to make that decision on how he needs to make his next step after he graduates, we'll be able to put him in direct contact, or he'll be able to call him up himself.
Okay.
And they'll definitely be there in whatever help he needs for that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Do you have any advice, or if you're a recruiter and you want people to come and join you, what would you say to them?
I say it might be hard in the first half, but it's a fun experience that we all can do. Doing that, you can actually get hands-on experience with actual law enforcement, see what they actually do and how they do it, and see if that actually what you want to do in the future. So it's a great program for people like that.
And outside of the Explorer program, you also participated in our Youth Citizens Police Academy.
Yes.
And what'd you gain from that?
It gave me a broad overview of what the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is. So basically, we weren't only with patrol officers. We were with investigation, internal affairs, K-9, Mom Squad, even the jail. We were able to see everything about what the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is.
Okay.
And what was your favorite part about that?
I would say the bomb demonstration. They actually blew up a bomb. So, or the K-9 demonstration. So.
And that Youth Citizens Police Academy, that's over during the summertime, correct?
Yeah, so we do it for 1 week out of the summertime for kids anywhere between the ages of 14 and 18 years old. It's just like our Adult Citizens Police Academy, which is a 12-week program where they meet once a week and get to break down these different parts of the sheriff's office. We just condense it down into a 1-week program where they get a lot of knowledge thrown at them, but it includes a lot of hands-on stuff where they are actually able to fingerprint some stuff, or see the bomb truck and go inside the bomb truck and see all the different tools and stuff that we work with at the sheriff's office. So overall, it's a great week out of the summer. A lot of good kids. I think this past year we had about 13 kids, and I want to say I think 20 is around where we look for, but I don't think there's a cap on it.
And I thought it was important to have you both on here, especially for our back to school edition, because the age range from 14 to 21. That's kind of the age range where, you know, they really don't have anything to do or kind of really nothing to plug in. There's a lot of after-school programs for, like, the little ones, and some a little older, but if they're not really connected with, like, sports or some of the things that they have in school, this is a good outlet for them, something where they can learn something, be a part of the community, at least, you know, a couple times out the month, and have connections here with the sheriff's office if something's going on or they need to talk to somebody, things like that. I mean, what better place to be is with the sheriff's office. So I appreciate both of you coming today and talking to us. Is there anything else y'all would like to say, or?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it. I
having
appreciate
us.
it.
All right, I appreciate it. We just want to give you a couple of reminders of things that are going on here at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. We mentioned with Sergeant Herring about school crossing guards and that we are hiring for school crossing guards. So if you're interested, you can call up here at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1000 and ask for somebody in HR, or you can actually come up here and fill out an application if you are interested in that. And also to remind you that the Citizens Police Academy starts on August the 22nd. They are still accepting applications up until the week before. So if you're interested in joining the Citizens Police Academy, you can email them at communityservicesdivision@augustaga.gov, or you can call them at 706-261-0436.
And as always, we want to remind you about our 9 p.m. routine, making sure that you're securing your vehicles at 9 p.m. and securing your homes, which means locking your doors and your windows. Also, we do want to make sure that you're aware that you need to secure your vehicles when you're leaving them running, or if you're running into a store for anything like such as that, to make sure we decrease our motor vehicle thefts that we've been seeing within our county.
All right. Well, that is it for this special edition. Again, we want to welcome the kids back to school.
And we wish you have a great year.
Thank you.